Join me for today's shoulder circuit. It's gonna be a real quick one because I got some events this week, so I gotta get out there on that road after I eat some breakfast. Today's theme is just honesty, man. You gotta be honest with yourself. And I mean, just in general, if you are honest with yourself and you don't lie to yourself, you can't lie to nobody else. You won't allow it. And it happens, man. I had to learn that years ago. Now, based on how people receive these vlogs or my rants, whatever I decide to call them that morning, you can see what I'm doing and be like, man, he just showing off and bragging again. And I gotta admit, the things that I have done for myself might make people feel that way. Because I don't want to be a one-show pony. I didn't want it to just be about fitness or just about school or just about this area. I wanted to say, okay, well, I want to be better and I want to try to be as well-rounded as possible, setting aside anything that has to do with swimmings, right? Like, how was you in the Navy for 20 years? You can't swim. Well, I'm here now. So it was a way. And spiders, maybe some heights, but I wanted to be as well-rounded as possible. And that's what I share. But I had to be honest. If you're anything like me, excuse the rubbing, it might be. You're honest to a certain extent. Because we don't want people to judge us. Because a lot of this stuff, we know better. And we don't want people to know that we still fold to the same things that we knew we shouldn't do. I was the best at it. That tends to be how these go, right? Like this is what I did because I was stuck. This is what I try to do to get unstuck. That's the thing. That's the jam. Yeah, I've learned that people do the same things that I did, and you try to create a version of yourself to present to people, especially on social media, when you know behind the scenes what you're doing and what you're not doing. People will always tell you via announcement what they're doing to change. They're not going to tell you what they're not doing. They're not going to tell you they're really not tracking what they're eating. They're not going to tell you, man, they ain't stopped drinking. But they'll be like, hey, I'll get 10,000 steps in, and I don't know why this ain't working. Because the honesty part. If you're like me, right? But yeah, I had to learn how to be honest before I started making any motion in my life. And that does not mean that I think that I'm better than anybody. But also don't be out here comparing to nobody. What I'm doing and the things that I've done are strictly in my lane. Are they universal, like goals that people probably try to pursue? Yeah, but the honesty part. Stick with me on the honesty part. After 26 years of working out, being all over that scale, right? I have been accused of being on steroids and TRT. In the same time, I've been accused of being on Ozempic, Wegovy, and GP, whatever, by some of the people that have seen me consistently do the same things. And while they're accusing me of these things, they're still asking me, why you be doing all that? Why you be on the stairs that long? Why you be lifting so heavy? Be careful with those people, because if it might be heavy for them, it might not be heavy for you, right? So these are things that people are trying to do to stop you, and they won't be able to stop you if you're honest with yourself. I know, it seems intense, right? Now, I'll go on record via YouTube and say, I have no problem with people taking steroids, TRT, any type of weight loss drug or anything. It ain't my business. I don't care. I know I didn't need it, right? There was some form of steroid that I did take. I used to get these steroid shots in my shoulders, in my back. If you notice, my shoulders got these knots. It's because I got separated AC joints. So I used to get steroid shots in my shoulders and my back, and it would feel okay for a little bit. But like performance enhancing, never did it. I said I'm on creatine. TRT, I know that there's people, man, there's like especially at my age, your genetic lottery is done and your testosterone levels are lower. So go get it checked and see what they tell you. Do I think you just got to hop on that stuff just for GP, general purpose? I personally don't. But if that's your thing, go ahead. But because I'm so honest with myself, I know my habits. And I urge people to be honest with yourself before you present that to the world. What are you doing in your life throughout the day, throughout the weeks, throughout the years that might impact your testosterone? When I used to drink and I used to eat bad, I felt like my levels was lower based on what I hear today. I felt sluggish. My man parts wasn't working like I wanted them to. I was tired. I wasn't able to lose weight because I was drinking and I was eating bad and I was in a surplus. When I carried more body fat than I should have, it impacted my testosterone in my 20s. So yes, naturally, it had lowered my levels. I don't do that stuff no more. But when you talk to some people, they tend to have amnesia about the lifestyle that they're living before they say, man, I'm about to start taking this, or accuse you of being on something. But it's a common thing in today's like society, man. And rather than just owning it and say, hey man, I'm doing this to myself, you gotta be on something. You gotta be on something. There's no way that this person's not on something. So most of the world now, and I'm generalizing, I've been trying to work on that. Most of the world think you gotta be on, steroids or TRT to gain muscle. Then the other half think you gotta be on Ozempic, Wegovy or something to lose fat. So if you're in the middle, just doing the right things for yourself for 26 years, as an example, something's up. As the saying goes, man, the truth will set you free. It did for me, man. I don't do it. I'm sitting up here 300 pounds telling people I'm cutting, but I wasn't because I was a glutton. Bars, right? And I'm sitting here, man, and I'm looking for every shortcut imaginable. I'm asking, and everybody I know that's probably taking fat burners, because when I had lost the weight, this was before like Ozempic and all this other stuff hit the scene to where people can accuse you of stuff. This was like hydroxycut, stuff like that, man. So I'm sitting here watching people eat right and be consistent, and I ignored that because people do it to me. And I'll be like, hey man, what's a good fat burner to take? And it's very disrespectful to people that actually work at this. It's not disrespectful enough to where people will get mad, but it is like, man, you know me better than that. And I know you better than that, right? But I would ask them, what's a good shortcut? Because I'm not willing to change my habits. And there wasn't really one. There wasn't really a good shortcut outside of just being consistent. And then some people were like, man, it gotta be more than that. Nah, just the same things every day. If you go look at my workout playlist, some of the same things every day. This is my latest machine. So I'm still putting in the reps, man. I'm still getting it in before I change some stuff around. I had got this one after, well, actually, that's the latest one. Bicep, tricep joint. But yeah, I do a lot of the same stuff. The same stuff people will call you boring for doing. They tell you got to change it up. And then when you don't, and you see your results, then they're gonna say you want something. To me personally, if I don't know you, all right, man, okay. And yeah, I do. I do enough for myself in order to remove me from arguments. Like I'm not about to be arguing with you about, the impact of how pursuing free education has helped me when I know it helped me. If we live in different lives, cool, right? I'm not gonna be arguing with you about how running the stairs benefits me if I'm seeing a result to where you accuse me of being on something because I look the way that I do. No, you're proving the point for me. All I got to do is just be consistent. Like, don't let YouTube fool you. I've been posting for years the same stuff. People stop rocking with me because of the consistency. That's why. Because if you're doing something and it's not working out for you, and you always got to be reminded by my big head behind that I'm still doing it, you might not be inspired by that anymore because it's going to come off as me showing off. I am very aware of how that can be perceived because I used to perceive people like that. But I say take it for what it is, man. Crap, what would Mike do? What would Mike do, man? It's raining outside. I'm supposed to be running these stairs. Would he run them stairs? Yes. I'm still going to go. Even with the fully functioning garage gym. If it's Saturday and Sunday and it's not pouring cats and dogs, Cali rain, before I go out there, because there's no need in me hopping out there driving in the rain if I know it's raining, I'm just going to stay here and get my 2,000 calories in here. But if it ain't start raining yet, I'm driving there, I'm going to do them stairs even if it starts pouring rain. Because I'm honest with myself. And I know that this works. We are living in some weird times, man, to where success is frowned upon unless it's coming from a popular person. And then if they lose that success because of like drama, drugs, then we told them so. But when you got the regular people out here getting it, nah, man, they gotta have a hidden advantage. Yeah, consistency. Consistency. It is 3:45 right now. So somebody's going to wake up. If I was on like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, somebody would have woken up, farted, went to go pee, and then have something to say about my video. Here you go again. You got to wake up to hate on me. You got to tell yourself the truth. The cold, hard truth. Cold truth. Pause on the second part, right? Tell yourself the truth, man. I ain't doing what I said I was going to do. I'm putting on all this weight. It ain't nobody else's fault. It's mine because of what I'm eating. Just because life is happening, life is lifing, that don't mean I got to eat bad. I'm coping, worse than I should. You know what I'm saying? Instead, we be out here, man, I'm gaining all this weight because gas prices. Man, I got a truck. I try not to get in that truck as often as possible, which I'm hoping, because I'm federal, the remote thing stays, man, because I do extra stuff. I do recruiting events here in San Diego because I said, man, hold on. San Diego is the second biggest naval town outside of Norfolk, Virginia? Nothing against Norfolk, but I didn't like it, right? I took orders to Afghanistan while I was voluntold, but I went to Afghanistan in a combat zone in order to get orders back to Cali. That's how much I didn't have a good, time in Norfolk when I was in the military. But I do this stuff because I'm like, man, people need to know about this stuff. Everybody knows that student loan debt is crippling. Man, let me get the word out. Let me get the polo. Let me show people that it's possible, right? That's why I do it. But do you think I'll be wanting to hop in that truck with gas prices the way that they are? And then I'll take when I put gas in my truck the other day, it said $100 something. Once it hit 100, I stopped looking. So I'll take that. I'm looking at that. And then I'm like, man, see, let me eat bad and start drinking again. No, because that's just going to add more problems to what I have going on. Man, what are we doing? That's why I jokingly, but seriously say, don't be like me. You got to figure out your own stuff, but that starts with you being honest with yourself. That's like rare now. I've been doing these long enough to know, that people will come and they'll tell me. Sometimes it takes, you gotta push them a little bit. They'll be honest, man. Man, I'm trying to do this and I'm doing this. Like I said, they'll tell you everything they're doing, but they're not gonna tell you what they're not doing. Right? I'm doing this, man. You still drinking? Socially, I'm not your doctor, man. Just be honest, right? If you're trying to make some movement. But yeah, I'm not about to be arguing with you about what I need to do to get lean at my age if it's working for me. I'm not about to be arguing with you about education, especially if education isn't your thing, because it's not everyone's thing, and I don't think you need to do it in order to be successful. But I've achieved every level of degree with no student loan debt. At that point, I'm the one that's scamming the school system. I'm not about to be arguing with you if you should drink or shouldn't drink. It's none of my business. I'm not getting in a car with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to sit here and listen to you when you say, man, I still drink and I'm not seeing my results. And I think it's the economy. No, because I stopped drinking and that contributed to my results. So I know nothing about what you're talking about, if that makes any sense. We just don't want to be honest. And that's one of the main reasons that I had gotten off social media, man. It's no honesty, dude. It's accusations, see things my way. We are overly sensitive. People getting canceled. Crazy work. Now I just get up and I go out and I do. And I don't ask for approval for me doing what I need to do. People gonna have issues with it regardless, man. But a lot of it is just like, man, don't you want to change? Like you said you want to do this. You didn't post about this. I said the other day about like damage control. Like what are you doing? Stop all the nonsense. Be honest with yourself. Are you still eating the way that you've been eating to keep that weight on? Now, if you're doing everything that you say that you're doing and it still ain't working, go to the doctor. Some people don't even go to the doctor, yo. Some people don't even go get themselves checked out. They just waiting. Then something happened and it's like, oh, I didn't see this coming. But your body been telling you these signs for years. We just be ignoring them. Like when it comes to like joint stuff, I can rehab and recover. When it comes to like organ type stuff, like if I breathe, I inhale and then my chest hurt, I'm going straight to that doctor. And I hate going to the doctor. And I take pride in seeing when I go in there and get my blood work done and they tell me good news, but I still hate it, right? Because I'm like, man, that's going to take me off my workout. Nobody's honest, man. So we're not honest. We're in denial. And then we still want the results that require work and honesty, self-control. Some of us have no self-control when it comes to food, alcohol. And then we go on social media and then we see somebody with some shortcut. And rather than do the very things that you need to do in order to see the results long-term, like changing up your habits, don't take this as me trying to belittle anybody. But there's just things that I will never do again. I know they're not right for me. I'm not going to do them again. Why do you want me to do them? Because it's not the fact that we don't know these things are bad, right? I've never done drugs. I smoked a little, but I've never done drugs. I've never, did anything like that. It was always the drinking and the eating bad that had me fat. But what I learned in sticking to this stuff, like I said, I've been working out for 26 years, but we'll say 2012, once my son was born, to where I said, man, I'm gonna lock in and lock voices out. Like not my own, but just stuff, the doubters, the naysayers, the people telling you something ain't possible, right? Telling me when I'm gonna burn out on the stairs and they take the escalator everywhere in the elevator. So I stopped listening to that. And then I realized, man, you have people, and this is gonna sound crazy, that know the effects of alcohol and crap food. I'm not talking regular, healthy, whole food. I'm talking crap food. They know. We see it. There are 600-pound, 1,000-pound lot behind food and stuff. And will still look you in your eyes without blinking and say, hey, why aren't you doing these things, man? you gotta have balance. You gotta balance in the stuff that was the most harmful to you so I can accept you as a family member, a friend. Think about that, man. Like that's crazy work. These people don't care. These people don't care, man. They don't. Ugh. I think this is my third set. But yeah, they will sit there and ask you why you're no longer doing the things that were dangerous for you, that were like slowly getting you up out of here. Because it's cool, because it's trendy. Because I want the results. That's why.